Welcome to the Hana Schmidt show. We are here with Johnnie Timu, who is the co-founder of Brown Pride. How are you today, Butter?
Good. Thank you. For having me.
No, thank you for coming on.
No.
You're one of the people that, when I first started the show, I needed you to come on. That's not even a lie.
Yeah.
So
I got bookings back to back now.
That's the truth. So I'm glad you're here today and we're able to talk some things through, because I think me and you have a lot in common in regards to upbringing and stuff like that, but we'll get into that. So Johnnie is the co-founder of Brown Pride, which is a incorporated society, an organization that focuses on helping the community. Do you want to tell everyone what Brown Pride is and what it represents?
This Brown Pride, this is our logo that we started with. Brown Pride is a social enterprise, as Hana mentioned. It's established incorporated society, not-for-profit, and also established as a registered business as well for any sale or things like that.
Right.
And seeing that, the idea came about 4 to 5 years ago, but we only started properly last year, October.
Right.
We started not properly. It was a joke at first, and then it
was a joke.
Yeah, it was just like a get together with the boys and stuff, and then more people wanted to join our fitness and stuff.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
Then it's just sort of where it is now.
Yeah.
Brown Pride is aimed at empowering Pacific and Māori through fitness, arts, and community.
Right.
That's our focus.
Sorry to interrupt. So I bear witness to the community part because me and Therese, hi Therese, we tried to help the temper zone workers, so mums, dads, uncles, aunties who lost their jobs. And Brown Pride was actually the first ones to come on board and help us. So what they did was they brought a lot of food from small businesses, right? Pasifika small businesses, and they helped provide food for the protesters who were trying to, claim their COVID pay. So very, very prominent in the community, and I see them around a lot. But carry on. I just thought I'd say that. Sorry, I had to add that in.
So everyone sees is the fitness and the community side. Fitness is our boot camp, so we're currently running our fourth one. Of 250 people, and then our community, we just try to get as involved as much as we can in community.
Right.
We have the engagement with youth, so whenever someone needs
you guys got huge support.
Yeah, which is like buzzing, and sometimes I'm like, shit, is this real?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like anywhere youth is needed, or some heavy lifters, or anything.
They
that
also
we can
do a lot of work with food banks. You guys help a lot with food banks during the COVID lockdown. So real grassroots movement.
Just anywhere we can help. Then at least we got the engagement and the backing from youth. And we can tap in. The people can tap into the resources we have and the manpower, the volunteers have and whatever. And then we can resource anyone with help us. I guess.
So you started the business with your boys, right?
Yeah. It was like 4 or 5 years ago we came up with the idea and had a talk about it. That's the first time I guess I planted the seed in the boys' brains and stuff. We were all just working factory jobs. Not that anything's wrong with it, but like we just work Monday to Saturday, and then Saturday night we'll catch up for cup of tea. No.
A cup of beer, you mean?
Just for a drink and stuff. And I just brought it up to them. I was like, I got this idea. Then I pretty much spread out the idea of Brown Pride.
Nice.
And then,
it's good that you have friends that you can go.
It was weird as, honestly. I still remember that first talk. I got a whiteboard out and I knew they were like, what the fuck is going on? Even me, when I was writing, I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Right.
But now, like, to fast forward to like last year when we started it properly, it's just like that. I always remember that night. And it's just buzzing that we, like, where it popped off from.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they don't know about, that night that you're talking about and the process to get there. So it's always refreshing to look back. And what are you guys doing, like, exactly to empower young people through fitness and...
So it's I want fitness, arts, and community. fitness mainly around Pacific and Māori because we're in high stats with diabetes or obesity or
Right.
heart diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then arts expression, I guess, and Pacific people.
So yeah, a lot of people express, or a lot of brown people,
yeah.
express themselves through arts.
Arts,
Especially because when you're in the church youth, yeah. You know, you dance, you sing, you play guitar.
And like, do those, but we're good at like drawing like typical here, music,
Yeah.
these things here. It's all part of arts, and
Yeah.
I think it's just cool that we can sort of give a platform for Pacific and Māori arts.
Right. And you're starting a music record label?
Yeah.
Was that what you called it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
We don't
so
have
what's that
a
about?
studio. Like, it's just giving the youth a platform because there's a lot of talent out there. And if you look around, like right now in NZ and Oz, we pretty much, brown people run the show. In Oz, you got 1-4, you got HP, you got Hooligan Hefs, and all these other groups coming out.
It's coming on the rise.
Yeah. And like just this week, like the likes of like 1-4, like done collaborations with Stormzy and Dutchy Valley, who like.
Did they collab with Stormzy?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, just got
Holy
released
crap.
this week. Like that. I remember
That's
when they
mean.
first had the interview, they were saying one day they want to do it.
Yeah.
And like, look, they've done a list in 3-4, like a couple of years now.
Manifestation, man.
Yeah. And it's just sad that like it's only half of the crew, but at least they get to tick that off their bucket list. And just to see that someone from UK with like probably millions of dollars was willing to reach out to like a group of Samoan dudes in Oz that dig their music and stuff.
Samoa represent.
Yeah.
Samoans are the most talented people. I love all my other islands, but to be honest, Samoa's where the talent's at.
1-4 Samoans, HB Samoans, Hooligan Hef Samoans.
The Rock Samoan.
Yeah, The Rock's my uncle. See like all these musicians is like shit. And it's sad that like in NZ we got the likes of Poetic, Mallow Downs, Swidit.
Yeah.
All these dudes are Pacific Islanders and they didn't really get a platform to get them started.
Yeah, because a lot of them have been in the game for ages. I know Swidit's been in the game for maybe nearly over 10 years.
They started pretty young, like doing their music, and it's buzzing to see how far all these guys came. But it was a long process for them.
Yeah.
But we're trying to shorten the process for the youth. I think the Oz groups they really opened the door for the youth.
Yeah.
Probably some people won't agree with their music and their messages and stuff. But
what do you think about that? Like the drill rap and shanks and shivs and like
I've always been like, what is it? I've always had two opinions and I can never decide. But I think it was once they came out with, especially the likes of 1-4, like being the original ones of Australian drill. When they done that Welcome to Prison. Yeah. Like at first I thought 1-4 was strictly just drill music and like just hardcore gangster music and telling stories. But then when they came with a sort of mellow song like that, like Welcome to Prison, like talking about their brotherhood and stuff, and I was like, oh no, these guys know that they need to, like, they're trying to mix their message, and they it's like good. It's good to see things like that.
Yeah, that's so true about the Welcome to Prison one, because I was in there with like Shanks and Shivs. What's the other one again? In the beginning. It was only me in the game. Introduced these guys. Bro, I was in there with that song. And then I heard Welcome to Prison, I was like,
a lot of
not as hype as I like this to be.
People are like, oh, this is about, because me, I love listening to lyrics and like just the story they're telling. Because I know the Shanks and Shivs are like, and think songs like that, they're like a third person view. They're telling the story for you. But like, for me and like my upbringing, I'm not like saying it's good, but I've done that, so like it was cool to see the other side as well. Like
right.
Sad and all, not sad, but they're sort of mellowed down, like emotional and proper storytelling.
Do you think it's starting to look real now, like genuine?
Yeah. It's like it's like they really not all about that drill life, and that's good to know.
Right.
Some people are like like people like me. We're assuming, oh no, these guys are hardcore fiaula dudes.
Yeah, that was my first opinion
Yeah,
of them, to be honest. But then I got hooked onto their music because
Yeah.
it was on one. But like, yeah, so you're seeing what's happening in Australia, and
Yeah.
they're doing great success because they're using YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Facebook. They have all these platforms, and you're trying to help Pasifika and Māori artists in New Zealand to do the same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much our goal, is to give them a platform to do it professionally and things like that. Do it to high quality.
Right.
Because there's a lot of good talent out there. Like the youngest in our crew that we've signed so far, he's a 14-year-old from Dunedin.
Whoa.
And he's like already collaborating with big names in Oz,
Hey.
which I can't mention. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like it's buzzing, and even the managers and stuff over there were buzzing. Like when I said, "Oh, he's a year 9 kid from Dunedin," and they're like, "What the hell?" And he made it on his phone and shit like that. It's just like it's buzzing the amount of talent that we have.
Yeah.
But just there hasn't been given the right
Resources,
resources
and, stuff like
things like that.
Yeah.
But there's heaps of funding out there, and like especially now there's like funding for Pacific Māori arts, and it's just someone helping them tap into that.
Right.
Instead of them getting out of the pockets or
Yeah.
turning to street life to get their money.
Because the funding is a difficult process, to be honest, and it's
Yeah,
good
hard.
you guys are taking the initiative to chase those fundings, because it goes to the same people all the time.
Yeah, that's the annoying.
Yeah.
And it's like a whole, like, you have to write a whole novel about yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Just to get $1,000 or something. It's like,
Exactly.
damn, if only it was easier. So that's what we're trying to do, is
Right.
make it easier for these young guns so that the talent doesn't go to waste.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah.
That's good. So, speaking on that, like, you say that you've come a long way with your boys. What was your background like growing up in New Zealand?
So yeah, I was born over in Auckland Hospital, over the shore. Then we moved. I stayed with my mum, my dad, my older brother,
Yep.
and Otara. And the stay house was on Beds Road, 2-bedroom house. And then my dad told my mum a white lie and said he was gonna bring over one of his nephews. Then he brought over one. Then he brought over another couple. Then
And then,
by the end of it, we had like over 10 of us in that 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
One room for my brother and all my cousins and uncles, and
Right.
then one room for my parents and myself.
what did you think at the time? Like, were you sad? Were you like, oh, we don't have a big house? Or...
Yeah. Oh no, not really.
Yeah.
Like, and because like a lot of Pacific Māori, like we just stay here, like we just stay in our area because we're comfortable there.
It's home.
So I didn't
Yeah.
really see any flash things, or I didn't really see nice food or things like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is normal, and
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it. And even if I look back, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we stayed in Otara up until my primary years. We moved to Manrewa.
Yeah.
And I've stayed in Rewa ever since. Still there as well.
That's so true though, because I have a similar story like you.
Yeah.
My parents moved here. We had a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
First 5 people, and by Christmas it's 13 people.
Yeah,
And then by the next year there's 5 more people on top of that.
yeah.
And it was so normal for me. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't unhappy as a kid. I appreciated my family being there. But then I have like this problem with middle class people who think they know better than us. Like, they try and tell us how to live, and like they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can do that, but you can't do this. And it's just annoying. Like, it's disempowering that they think that we can't do certain things. But like, look at you. You were raised in like Otara in the state house, and now you're starting Brown Pride, and you're going places. And I think that struggle.
Hopefully.
You will go places. I know you will. And that struggle is like it was necessary.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah, hard. That's happy I came from there, and like because when you're like right at the bottom, you learn how to survive.
Yes.
Like, you have that survivor in you. And I'm always thankful that happened, because I can make something out of nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like like when you're young, like your parents will just have a can of elengi, and to like a palangi, that's like a can of
survival food that they hide at the back for hard times.
Yeah, hard. It's like if we were like going
I
to
love
shops
elengi, by the way.
Yeah.
You can make elengi in so many ways. There's whaiai elengi. There's elengi so skamako.
Yeah,
there's just
there's
elengi and
right.
angiangi with rice.
And that's just like a simple explanation, whatever, of like how our parents raised us.
Yeah.
Something as simple as elengi could turn into like a high class with anyangis, a little bit of salt here and there, some
Oh
malesa.
yes, don't forget the salt.
Yeah, and it's like, man, like we could literally make something out of nothing, and that's what I think the outside eyes don't see.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, poor guys. But like, bro, we love this. Like, we love the Lisa
exactly.
and we love basic life.
Exactly.
You don't need any flash things to be happy.
It was like, reminds me when I used to go to like, because I went only Hanga High School. So I went Southern Cross and I went only Hanga High because my friends went there and I was Fiapoko and I went over there.
Solid.
And like, only Hanga High is quite a diverse school. There's like Balangis. And then I went to like my Balangi friend's house like after school and they'd have like sausages with gravy and like potatoes and beans and stuff like that. And the mom would be like, sorry kids, we're having, you know, a bit of, and the kids would complain. And I was like, oh, let's go. I put on like my sofafango, everything to start eating. And it's just so funny because like, I valued that kind of food, and you know, at home we'd have, sometimes we didn't even have elengi, it would just be rice or flour maka and water.
Rice and baka.
Rice and baka in the microwave.
Life is sorted. Life is sorted.
Life is sorted. But yeah, no, like you, I'm very thankful that I went through that because now I'm not a picky person. I'm also not a materialistic person. Would you say the same about yourself?
Yeah, like I'm just happy I grew up like that because now, like you said, I'm not picky. And I really appreciate little things like anything. And I'm just I'm grateful that, and I wouldn't change a thing from my childhood.
Me too.
There's nothing I wish I had that good stuff. Like I had Balangi friends as well, and when I went over, the mom would be like, "Go help yourself to the snack cupboard." The snack cupboard? Hold on.
The what?
The what?
And then the heavens gates open when you open it.
And they got like different sections of those tags that say M&M's or blah blah. I'm like, silly. We only have one cupboard and it's half empty. And it's just a couple
I don't even know why we have a fridge.
hard. It's just got milk and butter in it.
Exactly.
But like little things like that. And like to see that, like to see him or like my Palangi mates, like, and see how spoiled and like the attitudes are just like off fast. I was like, silly, you got heaven at your house.
Exactly.
And like I'm just happy I raised a getaway because now I can chuck me in the desert and I'll find out ways to survive. Or chuck me in the jungle and I'll win Survivor Series.
We should have applied for the Samoan one, honestly.
Yeah,
would have been a holiday.
It's a holiday, not a Survivor.
Exactly. And what about your parents? Like, what was it like for them? Because I mean, us, it was easy because we were the kids. You know, we were just like, "Mom, where's the food?" And they would give it to us. But what about your mom and dad?
So my mom and dad, before they, like when they first met, my dad was first. He came off the Dawn Raids, but he branched off from the Dawn Raids to a group called Peacemakers. So that was the Poly Panthers started, and then things like King Cobras branched from that. Like all the gangs, early gangs. And then you had Peacemakers, which was that was my dad and all my uncles and stuff and his mates, which was different, like Samoans, Tongans and stuff and Wayans and whatever, and they were all on that as well. And Peacemakers was just like King Cobras, doing community work, trying to help their people during that Dawn Raids time.
Because King Cobras was government funded.
I heard they were getting like funded to do community work and so my dad was sort of he came here early and he sort of learned the Paolangi way.
Right.
And he adapted to it. Whereas my mom came later, and she was from like the outbacks from Safoku.
We're both from Safotu. Safotu represent best village in Samoa.
First church. So she was like Samoan to the bone, and so like my parents were both like early NZ settler and then late. So they had their differences. But so my dad was like, and that's where I think I got my business mindset from. My old man started like with the Peacemakers, and those leaders started making little businesses.
Yeah.
And FYI, in the early 2000s or late 90s, my man was the one that made Otara Flea Markets what it is now, and he made
Whoa.
him and his Peacemaker, or like some of the OG Peacemakers.
Yeah.
But Peacemakers wasn't as big and as great as King Cobras and things like that. But some of them stayed together. But Otara Markets used to be just in that hall next to the pools.
Right.
But my man got different businesses and helped Pacific Islanders bring their fruit shops, and that's how they extended to the car park.
Buzzy.
But before, yeah,
See? That's what you get when you come from South Auckland.
it was in like a little hall, and I remember going there when I was little.
Right.
And my dad was telling me that one day you'll push it out to the car park, and now, like, if you look at it, they're the biggest car, so I'm always buzzing when I go over.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so he had that mindset, like a Balangi mindset, like set something up that you can leave for your family. And my mom was like, she just wanted to work. So yeah, and the differences started to clash when I was in primary school, and they went their separate ways. And yeah, it was all good. Like I was too young to understand what was happening.
Right.
And then would bounce between my mom, because we didn't have a house. Would bounce between my mom's brother's house and then my dad's brother's house. And yeah, there was a certain time when I was in primary when my mom didn't want to do that anymore. And so would stay in her car when she goes to work.
Yeah, while she's working.
Yeah, so she was at Dunkin' Donuts as a cleaner. And we'll go there like late night. And me and my sister will sleep in the car while my mom works. And I wouldn't change a thing. And I think that's a thing with a lot of Polynesian moms, they just want to provide.
Yeah.
And Polynesian dads as well.
Because I have a similar story. Sorry, I don't mean to be comparing all the time.
Sicky.
But like my mom, when she was a taxi driver,
Yeah.
she used to take me and my little brother with her, and we just sleep in the front.
Yeah.
Because there was the older kids were home, but we were the youngest ones, so she had to take us with her. And to me, it was fun. I was like, oh, go work with mom. And my mom was just taxi driver from the airport. And you know, going out at night was exciting, and
hard.
it must have been hard for my mom. I'll say that. But for me, I was happy as a kid, to be honest.
hard.
Yeah. Would you say the same about yourself?
Yeah. Like I never really realized until I was like got to La Salle thing. Then I was looking back, I was like, bro, the pressure my mom would have been in to know that her kids are sleeping in the car and stuff.
Yes,
just so
exactly.
she could provide. And I was like, I felt cool. It felt like I was an adult, like going to work, but really I'm just sleeping in the car. But and then like I finished primary school. Then I was happy as then my mom told me I'm going to La Salle. All my cousins were there, and like even when I was still at primary school, I was like tagging De La Salle in my hand or on the desk.
And there's like you know, because of COVID, a lot of parents are losing their jobs. So a lot of the kids have to drop out of school and work to help their parents to bring food home and you know put food on the table. What's your thoughts on that?
It's sad that that's still happening. Like it's like a
still happening.
Like a cycle. Because like even when I was in school, like I was working in year 11. I didn't drop out there, but like I work weekends and holidays. Me and my group of friends. And I know a lot of like older ones, like my old cousins that were working like night shift, and then they'll wake up and go to school. And we like. It's not that we never said anything, it's just we never had the platform to say things. We didn't have social media, like just on our phone, and we didn't have any...
Because we were in that age of technology where it was still dial-up internet, Bebo, with that weird noise that comes on, so communication wasn't as fast as it is now.
Hard. And like most of us didn't even have computers at home.
Exactly.
Like the only time you see a computer is at school.
And if you did have a computer, you'd be taking turns with all your siblings, like it'll be 1 hour each or something.
Or you'd have to wait till your mom gets off the phone, then
exactly.
you can go on the internet. So like, a lot of the youth these days, like they just had it at their hands, like accessible as whatever they feel in their hearts, they'll write on the status or they'll put on Instagram. They'll
speak up, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Like that's what I enjoy about this youth is their confidence to speak up, and because they had that sometimes I envy them. I'm like, shit, I wish
me
we
too.
had Instagram, I wish we had Twitter, I wish we had Facebook, was like things like that. So like I have nothing against them, but I know like that it'll pay off for the generations to come because
Yeah.
we didn't have that voice or we didn't have that platform to speak up.
Yeah.
That's why these guys gotta suffer, like the youth now.
It's interesting that you say it's normal because, my brothers, they had to drop out when they were like sixth form, seventh form, because they had to help my mom. But to me, it was normal. Like, it was like, oh, it's all good. It's just my mom. My brothers are helping my mom. Nothing's wrong with that. And I started work when I was 13. I didn't think I'm supposed to say that because it's like child labor. But we used to like pick strawberries. We used to go strawberry picking out near the airport, me and my brothers. And we'd spend a whole 8 hours, picking strawberries. And we'd only make $50 a carton. And then it was fine because we'd just go home and buy fish and chips and we'd be happy as, And my brothers would be like, yeah, let's go get fish and chips. And I used to be so excited, like getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, going with my brothers, going work with them. It was exciting for me. But obviously that would be looked at nowadays as like child slavery or child labor and stuff. And you worked too, right? In high school?
Like, and it was like normal. Like all you wanted to do as a kid was repay your parents for what they did. And I think that was a lot of our mindset. But we didn't really have the time to just step back and think like, shit, this is sort of wrong. Like the government should be helping us and stuff like that.
But I've never thought that, to be honest, because I always thought we have to provide for ourselves.
And I think that's a lot of the mindset for Pacific and Māori is like, no one depend on anyone except yourself and your family. If you really need help, reach out to your family for maybe a loan or something, but never depend on anyone.
Exactly.
That's either not your skin color or not your family. So that's where I think by era all of us were like on that working buzz and really didn't think about it. But it's good that the youth are speaking up about this.
Exactly. Times are changing.
I'm backing them. Because I know that this will benefit like the likes of my son and the kids to come and your daughter and stuff. Like, this benefits the next generation. That's good.
And sorry, just another question. Since you guys started Brown Pride, you guys have been receiving a lot of criticism online. Like, I just saw one post, and it was that girl who was saying, "Where's your money going?" or something like that. How did you guys respond to that, or how were you feeling at the time?
So like, we do cop a lot of hate, and it's all like, it's all social media, it's all through the phone. They're too scared to say it to our face. But,
as usual.
But that incident, hopefully she watches this. I hope she watches it.
Send her a message.
Send the link straight to her. No. It was just like sad. It was sad that one, it had to be our own people, and two, she didn't have she was saying like she genuinely wants the answer. If she genuinely did and didn't want attention, she would have directly
she would have messaged you or called you.
We're not private pages or anything like that. We're open to any messages. We even have our phone number on our bloody Instagram and stuff. So you just call and one of us would answer and explain everything. The thing with us was we were telling the group that paid their money where their money was going.
Right.
And we could go two ways about it. We could tell everyone, we're doing this community work with the money from everyone, and like post photos and videos and whatever. But then we'll flock hate for being cocky or like putting out there like, everyone look at us, we're helping this person, or look at us, we're at the...
No, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to find something to hate.
And then on the other hand, if we didn't tell anyone, which we didn't do, which we just told the people that paid the money,
they'll be like, well, but
And now that's where that came from, was because we didn't tell anyone. So either way, we'll cop hate for being cocky, or we'll cop hate for not telling the world, but it's none of their business.
Right,
and it's none of their ladies' business.
It's a very rude question to ask people where their money goes, and I hope you learned that.
That was
to the girl who said that.
And like I'll call her a girl. She's like a grown lady. Like she's like a mom and stuff.
Oh, crap.
It's like, bro, but that's just straight immature. That's like little kid stuff. Like if you're genuine and if you're mature enough and you got enough balls and you're real someone, you would like just message and ask.
Exactly.
I'll tell everything straight up. I'll show you receipts for days. But just because she went about that way, I was like, nah, that's sad. But for us boys, we should have been prepared for that, especially because Brown Pride is moving up. people are gonna be wanting to drag us down.
Yes, absolutely.
But I was just sad that like she put this on social media and it was public for everyone. And there was because I'm LaSalle, and there was a lot of LaSalle old boys that commented on that and added their 5 cents. But those guys knew, and I hope they watch this as well. Those guys see that the amount of work we do for LaSalle, and all that shit doesn't come for free. The school's not funding us. The old boys don't give us money. We use that money that we get from the boot camp. And to see them commenting and like sharing her post and saying like
Agreeing with her?
Yeah, agreeing with her. I was just like, "Fuck, say it to my face," or like just like back us, cause like all these like especially like, and I don't hate the LaSalle old boys or whatever, but a lot of them talk a lot of shit, but no one's doing anything. And now that us free ex-LaSallians are doing stuff, then those guys were like, oh, blah 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 on their ladies thing. I was like, shit, like. You guys do something then. You guys come run youth programs at the school. You come take the boys for training. You come train the staff or whatever.
Exactly.
No one's doing that. So, yeah. If anyone watches this and like takes any negative thing from it, just say it. Yeah, say it like a man. Just tell us and we'll explain everything.
Call him. His number's on his page.
Yeah, hard. Call me or direct message me. Because, like, backstabbing and shit like that, that's like little teenage girl stuff.
Keep going with your rant, bro. Step him out. Tell him meet at the Mangrove Town Centre. Step him out. Yeah, so like with anyone who does anything, like yourself, you know, you've created this platform, you've made this movement, you're gonna get hate. Like even with me, like when I first started, I just tweeted one opinion, bro. I got dragged to hell. Honestly, it was terrible. But then I guess I just got used to it.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where if you're not paying my bills, I don't care what the hell you think. So like, are you guys on that like same buzz as well, or?
Yeah. We're realizing that now. Like shit, we're just copying hate. Like there was all these DMs, but the cool thing with DMs, no one sees them. Exactly. So there's a lot of like DMs from fake pages saying this and that about us.
Hey.
Yeah. Like but they're
what losers, hey.
Yeah, hard. It's like. Just say it, man.
So like they created a whole username and a password.
Just to mock us and stuff. But the reason this one stood out for us because that was like publicly trying to shame us.
Right.
And I think she probably regretted it because the amount of hate she got was like way more than what she gave us.
Because you guys have so much support, and I only knew that drama from Twitter.
Yeah.
Someone posted it on Twitter, and then. I was like, what the hell? Why do you care where their money goes? Like,
yeah.
So
it's like we're pretty out there with our community, or not out there, but like there's videos and people know. So I can't believe that I'm sure she probably saw like what happened or what we do, but she just wanted a bit of attention.
Yeah.
And just thankfully we ain't like our old days, like, because we would have pulled up and we would have knocked on your door and said,
exactly.
Oh, what's this about and stuff like that. But lucky we changed people and we are doing better with our lives.
Yes.
That we just sort of shrugged
ignore
it
them.
off.
When they go low, we go high.
Yeah, hard. So we're all good now. It was a learning curve for all of us. But yeah, we're prepared for anything else. I bet you, like even this video, probably cop some comments like, hey, that's blah blah blah, or something negative. Everyone's got something negative to say. If they're not saying it, they're thinking it. So now I'm prepared. I'm resilient enough to just not even take notice. Yeah.
So considering, you know, your background, you're raised in a state house, you know, survival mode, which were good times. good times.
always.
Not trying to, you know, get anyone's sympathy or anything like that. It's just the bare truth. Considering your background, how did you see politics and, you know, politicians at the time?
Yeah, as a young dude, like especially that time when I was living with just my sister, my mom, and a car, or like when we didn't have a stay house. I hated Helen Clark. Like that was when she was Prime Minister. I just hated her guts, like because she'll come on TV saying she's helping and doing this and that. But here we were with no house to go home to and stuff. And so I really like had a massive hate for. I didn't even know her personally, but I felt
Yeah.
like I hate her. I'm gonna egg her house, or I'm gonna swear at her.
Well,
if I
it's
meet
true
her.
because like it's not helpful when every third election year they come to the hood
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, we're gonna
I'm
give you this
saving.
free thing. Yeah,
Look
white
at
savior
me.
complex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Hard.
gonna come save you, save this person, and
Hard.
then when your family's struggling and you see them on TV, you're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
fuck your shit,
You're
your
shit.
shit. These.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I felt, especially because like I had massive respect for her because Helen Clark in the 40th anniversary of Samoan independence when they had the celebration, the service, she done a speech and she apologized for New Zealand's part in the Spanish influenza that happened in 1918 that killed a lot of population in the Pacific nations that affected.
Right.
And she apologized like publicly, and like I was like, oh,
That was good.
I was still
Yeah.
young, but
Yeah.
it was my Samoan teacher that explained that at primary school.
Oh,
they
true.
explained, oh, so she done this, and she loved Helen Clark. So I loved her as well, even though I didn't know who she was up against or
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
know
No,
jack
I
shit
thought she was
about,
like, I literally
politics.
thought she was the hero of Southside.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
same. I had massive respect for it. And
Yeah.
then, at that time when my mom was telling us we were waiting on government listing and housing house for a house for us, then I was like, oh shit, she's a liar.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
primary teacher is a liar as well.
Right,
She said
right.
Helen Clark's helping us. So, me of politics, I don't know much about politics. But I'm just like a lot of Pacific Islanders that don't understand politics. Don't depend on them. Try help yourself.
And I think you learned that young because you
Yeah,
know
yeah, hard.
how you said you were blaming Helen Clark and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not our fault. Like you're coming here saying you're gonna save us or
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
give
yeah,
us
yeah.
free this, free this, free this,
Yeah.
and when you don't pull through, we're gonna get angry at
Yeah,
you for
yeah,
doing
hard,
that.
hard.
So from a young age, you've learned not to rely on politicians and government to, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and that's why you started Brown Pride.
Yeah,
Because
pretty
you know
much.
you believe in the people
Yeah.
to be their own heroes.
Yeah, hard. Like, Brown Pride not to save anyone. It's just to make individuals realize that I'm better than this, and I can save myself, or I can
Yeah.
build something that can feed my family, or things like that. That's Brown Pride to me. It's empowering them to do it themselves instead of relying on others. That's sort of why we started the charity side, and that relies on government funding or business sponsorships. But we also try to start this business side, which is like selling merch like this, so that we can ourselves fund ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're not always depending on government or funders or
and that's
rich
good.
dudes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Making your own stream of income.
Yeah, so that's where that mentality comes from, is from survival mode. Like,
Yeah.
never depend on others.
That's the one. Honestly, so much in common. And what do you think about the marijuana legislation that's going on? Are you going to vote yes or vote no?
Since a young age, I've done my science experiments.
Oil scientist.
Yeah, Einstein. I've had my take of marijuana or whatnot. And I was just young and dumb, and you just wanna be like the boys and follow.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a ongoing smoker. I don't
'Cause,
smoke on the regular.
Yeah, marijuana is quite normal.
Yeah.
Or in my hood, it's very normal. If you're getting ready for your drinks on Friday, you have your foil, your box, and your pack of smokes, and it's just normal.
Hard.
And also depending on whose house you're at, but
Yeah.
it's not something where we see someone smoking weed and we're like,
Oh my
look at
gosh.
him. Yeah.
Oh gosh, well,
Yeah, we're cool.
so smoking weed.
Exactly, but there's this whole drive on they're trying to make it look like we're sad because we smoke bud. It's like, bro, it's all good. If you smoke bud, you smoke bud. That's the end of it. That's the end of the story. There's people who drink liquor 3 times a day. You should be giving them the same shit.
Yeah, there's way more problems that evolve from liquor than
Yeah.
there is from weed. Like Bob Marley said, God put it in the earth for you and me. Nah, dude. But my stand at first, being a young gun, I was like, yeah, legalize. I didn't see all my friends
Yeah,
smoking.
same.
And they're getting car accidents or smoking and getting violent, like things
You're
like
just
that.
smoking, you're at home chilling.
So, yeah,
You watch
you're
a
just
movie,
normal.
you play games or something.
Yeah, or you just listen to music. It's
Yeah.
like, it was just normal, and I don't see why there's this bad thing about
Stigma,
it. Like,
eh?
yeah,
Like,
stigma
yeah.
about smoking weed. Like there's that Blood In Blood Out movie that and Miklo says cocaine is America's cup of coffee. That's like weed is New Zealand's cup of coffee. It's
Yeah.
just normal.
Exactly.
Like, and bro, imagine if cocaine was our cup of coffee. Then that's when you guys are like, government should go like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
when,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
But like, it's just weed. Like, like I know it is bad and stuff. It does have its negative effects, but
Yeah. I just don't think that the stigma that the people who are trying to legalize it,
yeah.
the stigma that they're trying to say exists, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say like weed smokers are embarrassed or
Yeah,
they're tired of getting called bums, lazy. It's
Yeah.
like nobody cares.
Yeah. But yeah, like my take now on it is
Yeah.
now that I've like come from a background and like no friends and stuff, and what would I say, like dabbled in certain street life area and
Yeah.
stuff. Like I understand that weed is the lowest stream of income for street life and for our people and stuff. Not like all our people, but the street life out here. And like I have a lot of gang friends and family, and they're just trying to make money for their families. Like they're
Yeah.
literally just trying to feed their families. Like maybe they try to do it legally or try to get a job, but either it wasn't paying enough or they got bounced or
It was just too expensive to
yeah,
live.
so they had to make that extra income, and that's what I see as the lowest stream of income for
weed.
street life is weed, because it's just normal. Like you could find a tinny shop at most areas.
Yeah. There's one every. Oh no, jokes. Keep going.
Similar, yeah, almost every.
Yeah.
But like it's just once you take away that line of income for the street life, and then they're gonna obviously have to push something else. Once you take that away from them, they're not gonna sort it out legally. There's gonna be too much work, too much taxes, too much following up on you, shit like that. It's like why stress when you can just do it here? But once you take away legalize like and then it's not gonna be brown people that own those companies. They're not brown people on the streets.
Exactly.
When they have weed to sell, and then they'll have to push like coke or.
Because there's the argument that like, well, at least the gang members can open a legal shop. It's like,
Yeah,
silly.
it's like, bro, they wouldn't go through that stress. All they have to do with weed is take it off their plant, put it in a foil, sell.
Yeah, ngali.
Now they're gonna take off the plant, test it, do
Yeah.
science shit,
Certifications.
put it in a bag
Yeah.
with all the milligrams or whatever.
Taxes,
and
accounts.
And then find a shop, pay a lease and shit like that. It's like,
No one
bro,
wants to
why
do that.
would you stress?
Exactly.
We just like.
And either way, like it's not going to be brown people owning the dispensaries. It's
how,
people
man?
who have been in business for
For
years.
ages, like,
They're
yeah.
smart. They know what to do.
Yeah,
legally,
that's why
yeah.
they're pushing like, legalize it. It's because
Exactly.
they know like
They're gonna
yo,
make the income.
I'm gonna chuck this million I have stored away from blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and here's $1 million for use.
Yeah.
So they're like, I know they'll be supporting it because they know it's a benefit for them and it's
Yeah.
a loss for our people. So my stand on it is like no, because you're stealing from our people. No, big no. Man. As much as like I know a lot of smokers and they're all good people and stuff, and a lot of them are good people. It's just you have to think the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Think the bigger picture. What the real narrative is they're gonna take it from us so they can get money.
Yeah, because I hear a lot on News Talk ZB.
Yeah.
I know maybe my viewers don't like that radio station, but I listen to it sometimes. I listen to a variety of news outlets.
Yeah.
And on News Talk ZB, they were discussing the marijuana legislation.
What's their
And
take?
these white people, they're calling out, they're like, if they're going to legalize marijuana, they're going to legalize cocaine and methamphetamine.
Yeah.
But then the people who were advocates for, legalizing weed said it's fake. They were like, we're not going to legalize coke and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But from, that street perspective, it's not them that's going to legalize it. It's the gangs that's going to come forward and push other stuff because they've taken weed off them.
Yeah, they have to like. They're meant to make a living as well. Like even though it's illegally, but like you can't always say that gangs are the bad ones, like doing illegal stuff.
Right.
Because like even with the likes of coke and like all those bad drugs, the brown people can't afford it. It's all these rich people that are higher up that can easily send the bum
Living
boy
in
to buy
Remuera.
living in Remuera
Yeah.
that are buying shitloads of coke and all that bad stuff. But they like it's just hidden because we're on the TVs, we're
Yes.
the dudes doing
Yeah.
crimes, we're the dudes selling this and that. But
They're the
real
buyers.
issue, they're the buyers. Like, we're selling, but we can't afford it.
Yeah.
Shit like that. It's like you can't always just point it to one side and say, blah blah blah. These people are this. These people are bad. Like there's a massive difference with gangsters and hustlers. There's a lot of hustlers out South Auckland. Like their intentions ain't to kill people or to murder people or close down small businesses. Their intentions is just to feed their family.
Yeah.
So there's a massive difference, and people can't always point at South Auckland and say it's full of gangsters. No, we're not. We're full of hustlers. We're full of people just trying to make a living and provide for their families. Massive difference.
Yeah, and I had an interesting conversation with someone else the other week, and they were saying that starting a business is too hard. But like, you know, like with anti-money laundering and stuff like that, the organization, they've been drilling in on companies. And why would anyone want to start a business when it's just so hard? Like, and we need to, and I understand why there's all these regulations, because they're going after the corrupt millionaires. But when they go after the corrupt millionaires and they make all these regulations, it punishes people like us. They punish people who are actually trying to do things the right way. And like starting a business hasn't been easy for you guys, eh?
No, especially because we're starting the not-for-profit side as well.
Yeah.
It's like that side, like we're just like after every wall, then we'll hit another wall and another wall and another wall, and it's just small minor, what would you say, like admin stuff, like
like papers.
Yeah, it's like. Bro, I hate that shit, but I know it has to be done, but I hate that, and it just just hardens you, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go work at like my 9 to 5.
Exactly.
That's way easier than doing this paper and then sending your license or your passport to this person or getting background checked for this. And it's like,
New Zealand's laws around business is not empowering at all.
It's like don't do business.
Just go work. You stay there and know your place.
You're a robot. You go work. You pay your taxes. It's never, hey, you got this idea. We can fund it. You can make it happen.
I mean, it's hard to get a freaking loan from the bank.
Hard.
It's unfair because, you know, we come from, like, you're raised in State House. We've used up loans to help our family. And then there's a lot of young people who build up bad credit. And then they have an idea finally later on in their life, but the banks are like, exactly. And then we have to scavenge for money and find other ways.
Like, and that's what, like, just setting up the business or the charity or whatever, that's hard. And then once you're set up, getting funding or getting sponsorships or getting a business support and partnership, that's another, like we're currently in that process. And it's like, honestly, I just want to chuck it at their face and say, you know what, I'm not writing a whole novel just so you can, like, say, for example, sponsor a laptop. Like,
I know, oh my gosh.
And I now, like, I was wondering why, like, because I've always wondered, why didn't because like I think now there's a lot of youth or like our age entrepreneurs coming out. And I'm like, why didn't the older generation than us? Why didn't they start business? And now I know it's like, oh,
we understand now,
like, oh, fuck,
we were just trying to have a house here. That's what our parents were doing. You know, we just want a house, and then we have to carry on.
But now I'm like, oh shit, no wonder they just went work. This shit's hard, but I guess like every generation has its goal. Like our parents, the first wave of islanders that came here, first gen, their one was to get a house for their families to get here. Now that they've started their families, our one is to build a business or something that can get a better house.
Or like, tertiary education.
Those
so kind of things.
Get better jobs and stuff.
So then our kids can, you know, it just carries on getting better and better.
But I guess we're the second or third wave for some of us. And I think it's now's the perfect time for us to start bringing up our ideas and start our small businesses, which is cool to see, especially in the Brown Pride Circle. There's like some of the females and some of the males as well that have seen us do it, and even though Brown Pride ain't established properly yet, they're like starting their little hustles. Nice. That's way more heartwarming to me than if you lost weight. Like, say if you lost 10 kgs, I don't really care. But if you started like a side hustle, or
the mindset shift.
I'd rather see that. Or you said that you're happier now. I'd rather see that. Like, it's as cool as like losing weight.
That beats any money.
Hard. It's stuff you can't buy. So I'm happy with just supporting any small businesses.
Yeah. What's your guys' vision for Brown Pride in the future?
So our vision, I'll say 2 years, 3 years from now, we wanna open up a Brown Pride center. And in the center, we wanted to like have an open space for fitness classes and that, and hopefully like run 3 community groups. But then like say 6 o'clock was a fitness class, then at 7 o'clock is like a youth workshop or a community workshop for money smart or learning how to cook or
That's a really good idea.
because for fitness like, and that's why I'm happy.
Like a hub for
Yeah,
for
a
that.
hub.
Yeah.
So there's like, you got the likes of 312 Hub and Onehunga. They do like community workshops like that. And there's other places that host, but there's and like community centers and recreational centers and stuff. But yeah, we wanted our own place that was open. Like you didn't have to be from certain religion or from certain background
Inclusive.
or things. Yeah, it was just inclusive of everyone. And yeah, like we want to run workshops there, or run a food bank out of there. And yeah, so that's our center, and like a studio for music. For the
Yes.
youth to just come.
We need
and,
one. We need a community studio.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
can just, whoever has an idea, run in there.
Run in there and
Yeah.
record it and see what happens from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to open a center in South Auckland, that's home of Brown Pride. And then we also wanted to franchise to different franchise our program, mainly our fitness and our community work, to different areas of New Zealand and to our cousins in Australia that are waiting for us. Shout out to my cousins in Australia. They're just waiting for us with the borders to open so we can go teach them.
Oh,
And
sicky.
so yeah, so it can be like a NZ Oz thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if all goes well. And yeah.
Oh, that's mean. You guys sound like you have a lot of goals. And like essentially, do you find that like when you make goals, when you get there, you already have 10 new goals?
Yeah, hard,
Yeah.
hard.
Like there's never ever one goal.
Yeah, hard. Like for merch, like when we printed it, it was 10 for our family, and then some people were like asking for some, so we're like, oh, we'll print out 100. Then that 100 went like in 2 days, and then like we had to set a new goal. And
Yes.
like I was just like, yeah, like little things like that is just buzzing to see.
Yeah.
But I know like after this year we'll have new goals as well.
Yeah,
Probably even
absolutely.
after this month. Yes. Yeah. But go with the flow, I guess. Go with the flow.
Yeah. If you were to tell, someone who has been in a similar situation, such as yourself or such as myself, what would you tell them to empower them to keep, moving forward? And address it to the camera over there.
Yeah, so Brown, like this EST 1929 is something that empowers me. If you look back into history, like when Polynesians and our Pacific history and Māori history, there's a lot of great leaders that made our people who they are today. If you look at them and then think of like what we have now, technology, we have money, we have cars and things like that. Like those guys had a horse, or like they had nothing. They had nothing, and they literally made moves that people remember today. And you want to be that person. Like you don't have to have anything flash or investments from your great grandfather or like shit like that. You can start from nothing, and you can literally make anything. And never underestimate yourself because you're from the hood. Like it's a benefit that you're from the hood because you know how to make something from nothing. So and yeah, just don't be the robot life that our Pacific parents pressure us to. Like don't just finish school, go blah blah, and just think that that's the only way. If you sway away from that, you're going to hell or something. Just know that there are other pathways, but whatever pathway you choose, just chase it and. Know that you come from ancestors that were heroes and that saved lands and things like that. So yeah, you're from that same bloodline. So don't think that you're less of a leader or whatever.
Just because you're poor.
Yeah, because you're poor, the color of your skin.
Yeah.
We're the next gen and we're the next leaders and yeah. Be proud to be brown.
Brown pride.
Watch her. Shut.